Hey there, it's Wayfair here, where delivery and setup are as easy as a few taps on your phone. You're relaxing in an old hammock, scrolling Wayfair's app, when you spot it, a brand new patio set. Next thing you know, Wayfair delivers it right to your patio and sets it up. Oh, you need a new grill too? All right, Wayfair's got you covered. With Wayfair's Room of Choice delivery and fast expert setup on qualifying orders, life gets a little easier. Visit wayfair.com or the Wayfair app.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
Welcome to the Black Tax. There's an African proverb that says, tomorrow belongs to people who prepare for it today. One of the things that I have been avoiding and have been avoiding for a very, very long time, even going back to being in college, is the fact that I was a creative, that I had the talent, the gifts, the abilities, and because of my upbringing, being in entertainment as an entertainer seemed to be fruitless, seemed to be something that didn't make sense financially, wasn't going to be something that would give me the life that I wanted, but the universe always kept me around it. For those of you who don't know, when Fort Greene was Brooklyn Bohemian, when there were writers, producers, poets, musicians, artists, all living in that one small neighborhood, when we all found a common ground as Black men and women who could talk about the power of the arts and live amongst each other. It was a magical time and moment, and the universe made sure that I was in the center of it. Sometimes I think back to those days when everything was there and I ignored it. I paid it no mind because I had just finished college, law school, was working at Condé Nast, was doing my thing, was falling in love, was building a life and a career around business and legal affairs. It was something I enjoyed. I loved the problem solving, but the creativity kept pecking at the exterior that I had designed to protect myself from the frivolousness of creating, of being a creator, as I saw it then. The oddity of it all is that we're always creating. We're always thinking. We're always writing. We're always producing. We're always vegging out, watching television, wanting to be different, wanting to be what it would be like. And because of fear, sometimes we sit in that fear, afraid of what people will think, afraid of criticism that we'll receive for the work that we've done. Living in Los Angeles, being an agent, being a lawyer, being a business person, creating and developing other people's business plans and financial plans, and all it was avoidance. It wasn't the thing that made my heart beat. It wasn't the thing that made my step, but I had to run the course in order to get to the place that I am in now. I knew back in law school when I sold a pilot, an episode, to a very popular show at the time and got a check for $10,000. I was ecstatic. I was excited. I was happy. I was like, wow, maybe I should be doing this. But I was in my fourth semester in law school. I had a year to go. I wasn't about to chuck all this and all this work I've done and tears and angry and frustration on a whim. I got to finish this before I can move to the next journey of whatever that's going to look like. I would go into studios and I would listen to producers, and I avoided learning how to produce music, how to DJ. I avoided it all because, again, I was focused on my goal. And my goal was to become a Clive Davis, go to law school, work in business legal affairs, start my own entertainment company, run it, get hired, and move forward. That was the vision that I had. I didn't count on one thing. I had all the education, I had all the tools, but I didn't think being Black and male would be the obstacle that I had to get over and realize that I wouldn't get over it. I'm always going to be that guy. And I was listening to something on a podcast, or I was watching something. I can't remember or recall when it was, but it was around the time my mom was dying. And the person who was speaking said, "The magic you are looking for is in the work you're avoiding." Let me say that again. The magic you are looking for is in the work you're avoiding. Now, I have always problem solved. I have always been able to find solutions to problems. I've always been everything. And I've spoken about a lot of the things that I've done, always centered around creativity. The jingles for great advertising, the commercial for Universal Music Group, the producers that I represented who pieces of their music have been on different albums and different artists or been sampled or whatever the case may be. I've been able to do that. And I thought that was what it was. I wrote a show called The Empire State that has been renamed The Boroughs. That was stolen and was on one of the major three and got 13 seasons out of it. I was told by my agent at the time when I discovered it, it was 2009, when everybody's sending me all these text messages, congratulations, 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 that I couldn't sue this particular network over a show that I created in 2002. I knew then that I had the shit. I knew then that I was talented. Because if you were going to steal my shit, then I have the ability to create. I have individuals who have been pitching the same show over and over and over and over and over again because it's all they know. They don't have the gumption to want to build anything else. When I've embarked on this career at the beginning of the financial crisis, when I started Independent Creative Artists, I had 5 shows. Now, those same 5 shows that I wrote had already been picked up before the writer's strike happened in 2008. And then those production companies lost their production deals. I lost my deals. But there was a spark, there was a fire that was put into my ass. And because of that, I have been writing ever since. I wrote my first book called Soul Searching and still trying to find a publisher for it. It has gone through 7 rewrites. And finally, I'm at a point where I think it's ready to be published. So that is going to be published sometime in 2026. I write about my experiences. They're not poems, they're moments. And so I've taken all of the moments that I've written about, a little over 300, from 2000 when my heart was broken to now. And I've divided those things up into 4 different books. I talk about my body count, I talk about love, I talk about relationships, and I talk about life. Because the journey that I've walked has been my passion. I have 15 shows that I have been writing. I have 75 different programming that I've both reality and scripted. I'm working on a 10-part series right now, a 3-part documentary about something else, because I understand the importance of entertaining while educating. When my mom passed, I said something and somebody got offended. Most people get offended when I say shit. That the greatest gift my mother gave me when she died was the freedom to pursue what was important to me. Now, that might sound harsh, but the reality is, as a firstborn, knowing my siblings, a lot of the responsibilities were going to fall back on me. And fortunately, my baby and my baby were willing to step in and care for her while I was still working in Los Angeles. But once she had passed, the floodgates opened. The writing became more prolific. The writing became more personal. I wasn't trying to say what I wanted to say without having an expression or a feeling to it, in hopes that somebody would be able to connect the feeling or the emotion attached to it. I've watched friends die. I've watched friends who were suffering and nowhere to go live in my house and die from their illnesses. And all of those things feed into my creativity. All of those things give me a space to share my emotions, to tell stories that are vivid and colorful and move and does all the things that storytelling is supposed to do. It's supposed to connect with you. And that's what I do. And I've been avoiding it my entire career. And I don't know why. Maybe part because I didn't want the judgment. Maybe not. Maybe I don't think I'm good enough. But here I am. I was in college. I was taking some acting classes because I needed to get my GPA up. I fucked up my freshman year. And we were doing a scene with a friend of mine who I've known since freshman year in college. And the intensity of the scene threw her off. Everyone in the room was quiet. And the professor said, "Hey, is this something you want to do as a career?" And I was like, "No, I'm going to med school or law school. No, thank you. Not what I want to do." But that was the universe telling me this is what I'm supposed to be doing. This was that moment. I am 60 years old, looking all of 40 years old, and still chasing what I should have done back in 1984, 85, 86. I say people all the time, I look as young as I look because the universe is giving me another 15 years to make it happen. You're talented. You're gifted. There are things you want to do that you're afraid that people will question. But sometimes they're not questioning if you can do it. They're questioning how will you do it or how you will do it because they don't have the ability to chase after the dream that they want. And by keeping people around who avoid the dream, they're in this place of safety and comfort. I don't have that anymore. I can't. I won't. It's new. It's a new career, but I love it and I'm enjoying it. So what I want you to think about is, what are you avoiding that you know you want to do? What are you afraid of? What do you think people will say? If they're not supporting your decisions, then they're not the people that are supposed to be in your life. If they're not encouraging you to chase after your goals and your dreams, then they're not the people that belong in your life. It's time for a new tribe. It's time to find people who respect your career, your goals, and the change you want to make. In this period of Black folks sitting out, discover what you are passionate about and run with it. It won't let you down. Stay woke. We out.